Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Andy Schweitzer. I am the president of the Siena Heights University Alumni Association and a 2013 graduate. We are here today to celebrate some pretty outstanding Siena Heights University alumni, and quite frankly, just to be in the midst of the community of saints, which Sister Peg and I were just watching, seeing people come in, greeting one another, saying hello. Some of us have been 5 years, 10 years. It's awesome to see. I've seen several already too. That makes it so awesome. I think that I wrote down on a quick note that I think something unique to this is a celebration of collective achievements among a very unique group, and that unique group being the Siena Heights University alumni, the same mission that we all share. We're able to draw inspiration from 5 awesome individuals who have done incredible things and are continuing to do incredible things. And it's just a cool inspiration, and I have goosebumps right now, to just be surrounding you. So we thank you guys, and we're gonna hear some awesome stories today. This is a process the Alumni Awards Committee meets, and we have nominations come in for 5 unique awards. The committee reviews the nominations, and these individuals are selected. I had the opportunity to serve on that committee one time, and it's a fantastic way to just see the incredible achievements of our community too. The nominations will be open for next year as well on the Siena Heights University webpage. And at this point now, I will turn the stage over to Sister Peg for her remarks. Thank you all.
Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
It's wonderful to see such a great group here, and also to be in awe of these wonderful people who sit before us today. It's always the hope of any higher education institution, particularly those founded in the Catholic and Dominican tradition, that those who graduate live out our traditions and missions of the university from which they come. And in this case, it's Siena Heights University. As many of you know, the mission of Siena is, and many of you could say this with me if you want to, go ahead, the mission is founded in the Catholic and Dominican traditions, is to assist people to become more competent, purposeful, and ethical in a teaching, learning environment that respects the dignity of all. Our recipients today exemplify for us the lives lived with integrity, faith, and enthusiasm. And then they call each one of us to do the same. Imagine how many lives they have touched. What a positive effect they have had in our world. Each of our honorees have had different journeys, but there is a sameness in all their journeys, a light of truth and wisdom, and a constant companion in their lives, namely our loving God, along with others. Siena Heights is blessed by your presence today. We celebrate with you this most deserving honor. You make us so very, very proud. May God bless you all and enjoy this special day. It's all yours. And now I would like to invite to our stage our wonderful acapellicans. This is such a talented and gifted group of young people. And they will bring us much joy by their singing.
Sweet golden days of dreams, Siena we've known with you. Long laughter studded us, with classmates fond and true. So in the deepest gratitude for the years that too swiftly fly. We rise and give our thanks to you before we say goodbye. We bear the torch you have given us, the torch and the shield of truth. In the love of God you taught us, and the courage of our youth. We never will forget you, for the promises we have made. To meet life bravely, gallantly, by our faith kept unafraid. Dear Alma Mater, staunch and true, veritas enfolds you, Siena, hail to you. Dear Alma Mater, staunch and true, veritas enfolds you, Siena, here's to you.
Yellow diamonds in the light, now we're standing side by side. Lost his mind. What it takes to come alive.
This is the way I live, and I just can't deny. But I've got to let it go. We found love in a hopeless place. We found love in a hopeless place. We found love in a hopeless place. We found love. Shine a light through an open door. Love and life I will divide. Turn away 'cause I need you more. Feel the heartbeat in my mind now. Feel the heartbeat in my mind. Feel the heartbeat in my mind, in my life. 'Cause it's the way I'm feeling, I just can't deny. What I've got, what I've got, what I've got. Let it go.
Thank you so much, Acapella Group. That was awesome. Goosebumps again. So bad. We will dismiss the Acapella Group. Many of them are in the show tonight, and we'll go and prepare for that performance. It is now my honor to introduce Mark DePietro from the class of 1983, who is honoring our first alumni this evening, Kermit Williams from the class of 2005 for the Outstanding Alumni Award winner.
Thank you. Hi, Mike Lane. Kermit, those are all theater majors. They're in the show this weekend. I already talked to Elizabeth. I'll see you there. There is a Siena alum that I have watched with amazement since he graduated in '05. Believe me, it is my honor to introduce to you my friend, Kermit Williams. Since his graduation, Kermit has truly led a life to make us proud. He is a servant to others. For over 15 years, Kermit Williams has been a noteworthy leader in Oakland County. He is known from his work as the Pontiac City Council president and the co-executive director at Oakland Forward, a local nonprofit that is dedicated to building power to remove economic, racial, and social barriers to provide opportunities for individuals with a focus on people of color in Oakland County. Kermit can also be credited with contributions to helping to end the Phoenix Center lawsuit saga, which saved his taxpayers millions. He champions the youth recreation millage, returning youth activities back to the city of Pontiac after a 10-year hiatus, and passing the first resolution for racism as a public health crisis. Outside of the office, Kermit is a man of faith, and he serves as an elder at New Mount Moriah International Church. He has a heart of service and gives back by serving as a board member for the High Place Community Outreach, a nonprofit that works to improve the quality of life for underserved individuals through empowerment by providing teaching, training, and community awareness. And the Pontiac Youth Assistance, a nonprofit whose mission is to strengthen youth and families and to reduce the incidence of delinquency, abuse, and neglect through community involvement. I can't name them all, but over the years, Kermit has won so many awards, including a proclamation from the state of Michigan, awarded by State Rep Brenda Carter and State Senator Rosemary Byer, a proclamation from the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, awarded by Commissioners Angela Powell, the Black Women's Roundtable Leadership and Service Award, Identify Your Dream Making a Difference Award, Men of Excellence Award, the Tim Dinan Community Service Award, the African American Leadership Rising Star Award, the 2019 Great Expectations Award, and the Golden Opportunity Elected Official Award just in 2019. Kermit, I'm tired. But I have a little bit more. Why don't you come up here? Why don't you come up here and stand by me though, okay? And I'll get to it. Finally, he's dedicated to making his community in Oakland County stronger. Through his roles as the Pontiac City Council President and the Executive Director of Oakland Forward, along with his previous work, he is committed to fight for just and equitable public policy. He believes, and this is a quote, a Kermit quote, "Even with our differences, one thing we can agree on is we are all human first, and together we can move mountains." He is a remarkable young man, one whom I admire and one who should make us all proud. And as I said, his list of accomplishments just goes on, but we're not allowed to go into tomorrow's game. So I'm so proud to say that I asked Kermit yesterday, I said, Kermit, what I have to say is are things that I wrote in the nomination letter. Do you have any personal things? And this is what he told me. His mother is his shiro, a single mom with cerebral palsy who raised him. And he is an avid Lions fan. I'm with you there. But the Lakers, I'll give it to you. He's an avid Lakers fan as well. Oh, and he has a beta fish named Papa Smurf. I'm just so honored and proud to introduce to you my friend and former student, Kermit Williams.
Mark, whenever you get ready to retire, if I can take you on the road with me, I will. But seriously, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Push, and others. It's good to see Ms. Snap back there and Mike Lane, who graduated with us. I am so humbled and overjoyed to be here. First of all, I would like to give honor to God, of course, because he made all things possible. But this is a tremendous full circle for me. My senior project was a play that they allowed me to do right here in this very room. And so this is the first time I've stepped foot in here in about maybe 18 years. But just to know that you can start from where I started from and make an impact to be recognized by the Adrian Dominican sisters, who I love, it's a tremendous thing. What I do want to say to all of my fellow alumni and award winners today is savor this moment. We have had so many people recently, especially since the pandemic, pass, and we need to make sure that we're taking the time to really share and celebrate those who come before us and have toiled with us in everything that we do. So I'm not going to give a list of names of everybody that I'm thankful for, but I'm definitely thankful for my family. I do want to give a shout out to my mother, who is watching. I am first generation college graduate. And so every day in her womb, she told me I would go to college. And so this is the fruition of her dreams and her thoughts and her accolades. And so I just wanted to dedicate this award to her. It's another special individual that I want to recognize, Dr. Nelly Kano. She was over the McNair program when I was here at Siena, and she literally not only took me under her wing, but she paid for my doctor's appointments so I could go to the doctors because I didn't have health insurance when I was here at the college. Those extra steps that the faculty and staff went beyond make Siena a university like no other in America. So remember, this is more than a college. It's more than a university. It's a family. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Kermit. Thank you, Mark. I would now like to introduce Linda Mueller from the class of 2002, who is honoring our second recipient, Delinda D. Crane of the class of 1987, receiving the St. Dominic Award winner.
Wow, the St. Dominic Award, given to an educator with a Christian commitment to school, family, and community. Sounds like Dee Crane to me. I've known Dee longer than I have not. She took me under her wing as a non-traditional student. She mapped out my Siena Heights life plan and walked me through the entire journey. I was one of many students that Dee traveled with. Dee's dedication to the profession of teaching lives on in her students today. Dee will always be known to many as the organizer, recruiter, planner, and preacher of education. And man, can she preach. But let's back up just a bit and look at Dee in another light away from Siena Heights. Before her years here at Siena Heights, Dee taught first grade at Blissfield elementary school. I will not put a number on that part of her life, but let's just say Dee's past students now have grandchildren at Blissfield. Dee is the first to admit, however, that her greatest accomplishments are named Maria and Benjamin, and I happen to agree. Dee left teaching first grade students to be a teacher of teachers here at Siena Heights University. What Dee established as associate professor and director of undergraduate teacher education cannot be matched. Her true passion for education was a daily visible trait to all that crossed her path. I think many will agree when I say passion, it makes you think of methods. Upon leaving Siena to begin retirement, life had other plans for Dee. She was hounded by her friend and superintendent of Blissfield Community Schools to take over as the elementary principal. Well, when Paul asks, you don't dare say no. Many of her teacher education students from Siena are teaching at BES right now. And Dee became in charge of over 500 students, many of whom were children of her past students. Full circle, right? Once she finally decided to take retirement seriously, Dee left us at Blissfield and involved herself in Hospice of Lenawee, working in the memory care facility, the Women and Children's Center in Tecumseh, and the HEH Food Distribution Ministry of Lenawee County. Doesn't sound like retirement to me, but that's who Dee is, always wanting to make things better and easier for others and navigating for all of us. I like that word navigator, and it makes me think of Dee. You see, Dee and I are not only connected through Siena Heights and Blissfield, we're two true friends and sisters in spirit. We spend many hours together on the phone, texting, talking, and just enjoying each other's company. Our favorite yearly adventure is spent together in Shipshewana. We stay at the same hotel, visit the same places, and even stay in the same room. Except this one year. We ventured out to view some art in the nearby town. Artists had erected statues of different meanings, and we were determined to see them all. But we made one mistake. Dee put me in charge of the map and navigating the streets of Elkhart, Indiana. Not a good idea. As I am reading the map, using my GPS on my phone and looking at art so it can jump out at us, Dee is driving. I yell, "Turn left here!" And she did. Only we found ourselves on a one-way street, going the wrong way. And a police officer right directly behind us. As a car was coming straight for us, Dee quickly turned the car to the right, down an alley, and we came out on the other side unscathed. The police officer didn't give us a ticket. We laughed until we cried and thanked God that we were safe. Once we finished our sightseeing, we headed back to the hotel, only we took a little side trip back to see where the crime had happened. Much to our chagrin, there was no alley there. It just disappeared. Neither of us to this day can explain what happened. But there is a moral to this story. Dee's much better at maps and navigating than I am, not the other way around. During her time at Siena as a professor, Dee used storytelling to make some pretty poignant points to her students. I recall many stories from Dee that I have in fact used as principal at Blissfield Elementary. I always think of Dee when I talk about Teddy Stallard or the jar of rocks as it pertains to life. Miley Cyrus will always be able to climb that mountain, and I'll always choose to dance, according to Leanne Womack. However, one story in particular brings Dee to mind instantly. The title of the story is called The Leaky Bucket, and it goes something like this. Once upon a time in Israel, there was an old Jewish man who drew water from the well and carried it back to the temple every day. The man carried 2 buckets of water slung on a bamboo pole across his shoulders. One of the buckets was perfect, while the other one was riddled with several holes, and it was a leaky bucket. Every time the Jewish man filled up the 2 buckets and got back to the temple, the leaky bucket would only be half full. Water had sprinkled out through the holes on the way back to the temple. The leaky bucket was sad. It wasn't perfect, and water was leaking. One day on the way to the well, the leaky bucket got a little excited and said to the Jewish man, "Sir, I'm sorry that I'm imperfect and could not keep the water from sprinkling through the holes on my sides." The Jewish man smiled and he slightly nodded his head. When at the well, he drew the 2 buckets of water. He filled them and walked back to the temple. The Jewish man noticed the leaky bucket was silent, so he decided to let him in on a little secret. "Look to the side of the road where the perfect bucket passed," he said. "It's barren. Not even a blade of grass grows there." Pointing to the blooming flowers on the other side of the road, the man said to the leaky bucket, "See those beautiful flowers? These are here only because of the water you sprinkled on them daily. They owe their existence to you, and we are able to enjoy these beautiful flowers because of you. Your imperfection has brought benefits to all the people around you." Now, I don't think of this story because Dee's a cracked bucket. No, I don't. I think of her because she shares her abilities to allow others to flourish around her, just as the leaky bucket did. Dee has shared her gifts with all of us, and we, in turn, reap the benefits. Dee, by sharing her passion for teaching with others, has brought all of us value in education. She has taught us that we all have gifts to share, and by sharing these gifts, we are all better people because of it. In fact, I believe my existence as an educator is due to her. Please help me in welcoming our St. Dominic Award winner, Dee Crane.
Ooh, a chance to see myself in the screen there. Hello, Michael Lane. Dearest God, how can I say thanks for the things you have done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you did to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels could not express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee. Thank you, Linda, for the beautiful introduction. And thank you for not sharing all of the information concerning some of our adventures. It is indeed one of those miraculous things where that alley is not there. I believe with my whole heart that God put it there because there were 4 lanes of traffic coming at us when I turned where Linda told me to turn. Thank you, Siena Heights University, Sister Peg, the Alumni Office and Board, and all those who made this day possible. You have no idea how much this means to me. I share this with my family, especially my 2 kids, Maria and Benjamin, always referred to in my classes at Siena as Exhibit A and Exhibit B. I also share it with thousands, literally thousands, of Siena and Blissfield students. my treasured colleagues, and some pretty amazing friends. If you had asked me when I was 5 years old what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would have told you that I wanted to be a mommy and I wanted to be a teacher. I had only been in kindergarten about a month when I came home and announced to my mother that I was going to become a teacher and that I needed to start practicing now. So every day when I got home from half-day kindergarten, I would line up all the kitchen and dining room chairs in rows in the living room. I would plop a stuffed animal or a doll in each chair, and I would practice. It soon became very evident to me that in order to really practice, I needed at least one human subject, student. So I grabbed my 3-year-old sister, not so gently plopped her in one of the chairs. She was not a willing subject, student. So tying her in the chair with a jump rope seemed to solve the problem. Thanks to all of that practice, I did become a teacher. In the midst of that time and throughout my years as a stay-at-home mommy, I started and completed my master's degree at Siena Heights College. During those years, I met and was greatly influenced by 3 very special Adrian Dominican sisters. Sister Miriam Stimson, Sister Antonita Porta, and Sister Eileen Rice. Trust me, all 3 very different women. Sister Eileen became not only my instructor, but also my mentor and a very precious friend. As I was completing my master's thesis, which she was constantly taking her red pen to, she asked me if I would be willing to supervise a couple student teachers. She thought it would help me transition back into the elementary classroom. I agreed, and she gave me 3, which the following semester turned to 12. One afternoon, as I was dropping off a very huge stack of evaluations, she casually asked me if I had ever considered teaching a college class. I told her I had not, and that I really had my heart set on returning to the elementary classroom. She said she had the perfect class for me. A 4-semester hour senior level elementary core methods course. Well, I got the Sister Eileen K. Rice look, so I told her that I would think about it. The next day she called me, asked me to stop by that afternoon. And when I got there, she inquired as to whether I had come to a decision about teaching the course. I reminded her that it had been less than 24 hours since she had asked me, but that I had been contemplating it. Contemplating. I was within seconds of learning my first big Adrian Dominican lesson. Don't use that word unless you know what comes next. She looked up, smiled, and said, "Contemplate. Well, it is now time for you to give to others the fruit of your contemplation. I hope you are free on Wednesday evenings because I have already told the registrar that you will be teaching the course." And so now you know the rest of the story. I treasured those Wednesday evenings. I loved teaching elementary core methods. And I loved my 10:30 p.m. conversations with Eileen. We would sit on the floor in her office in our dresses, high heels kicked off, leaning against that long row of filing cabinets, each of us with a what in our lap? A cat in our lap. We talked about life. We talked about teaching and learning. We talked about teaching as a performing art. We talked about the Adrian Dominican mission and pillars. We talked about the importance of family. And we finally had to talk about illness and dignity and death. When I arrived at Blissville Community Schools as their elementary principal, as Linda said, I discovered there were 14 of my former Siena students teaching there. And there were 7 of my former first grade students whose children were students at the elementary school. It was a full circle moment, and the BES staff was a family. We laughed together, we cried together, and most importantly, we prayed together. It was really after retirement from formal teaching that I discovered how much Siena and the Adrian Dominican sisters had become a part of me. I treasured my year of volunteering in memory care facilities for the Hospice of Lenawee. No matter where they live or the state of their illness and mental health, every single human being has the right to be respected, honored, and treated with dignity. In my year of volunteering for Hope and Encouragement for Humanity, coordinating the ordering and distribution of food boxes for nonprofits and their families, it became clear to me that there are way too many families right in our own community who don't have a seat at any table. We need to build longer tables and we need to add more chairs. In my year as the founding director of the Women's and Children's Ministry Center in Tecumseh, Lenawee County's first and only faith-based long-term transitional housing center for homeless women and children, that touched my heart to the core. St. Dominic's belief that good preaching requires that the preacher has studied in the pursuit of truth and has a solid foundation in which to speak never rang truer, as those living with addiction, mental illness, and homelessness are misunderstood, judged, and marginalized. As Amanda Gorman said, what just is not always justice. So I stand here today drinking from my saucer because my cup has overflowed. Much love and gratitude to all that are made this day possible. Amen.
Congratulations, Dee, and thank you, Linda. It's now a privilege to introduce my friend Kendall Acho from the class of 2012, who will be honoring my other friend, Amanda Marty Martino, class of 2013, as this year's Sister Ann Joachim Award winner.
Hello, as Andy said, my name is Kendall Acho, and I am here with the honor of introducing my smart, talented, successful, and driven friend, Amanda Marty Martino. During her time at Siena, she was a 4-year member of the women's soccer team and team captain her senior year. She also served as the volunteer assistant coach while finishing her studies in 2012. On that note, I should mention that Marty has a very busy weekend ahead of her, as her 2009 women's soccer team is being inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame this evening. During Marty's undergrad years, she studied abroad in Mexico and served as the president of the Green Light Environmental Science Club while earning her Bachelor of Science in Environmental Studies. Marty has been just as busy since she left Adrian. She received her Juris Doctorate in 2016 from the University of Oregon with a focus in energy, environment, and natural resources law. She then worked for an environmental attorney for a year before beginning her work with the Blue Mountain Land Trust. Over the last 5 years, Marty has worked her way from a regional conservation manager to conservation director to now interim executive director. Blue Mountain Land Trust mission is to protect the scenic, natural, and working lands that characterize the Blue Mountain region in Oregon through collaboration with local communities and landowners. Marty's hard work and dedication have helped make major strides in acquiring conservation easements in the region, as well as preserving fish and wildlife habitats, forests, grasslands, and agricultural lands. A colleague of hers, Kelly Beamer, who is the executive director for the Coalition of Oregon Land Trusts, an organization in which Marty is a board member, has this to say about her impact. During her tenure, Amanda has built a robust conservation program that has led to the permanent protection of thousands of acres of land in critical habitat. Watching Amanda support her community is watching someone who is all in. The Sister Ann Joachim Award is presented in memory of faculty member Sister Ann Joachim and recognizes significant contributions to the university and/or community through activities that demonstrate strong leadership, the ability to get things done, and the capacity to confront issues head-on while maintaining the image and spirit of Siena Heights University. If that doesn't describe Marty, I don't know what does. Through all of her success, Marty has managed to stay humble, caring, dedicated, and a great friend, just as we met her nearly 15 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce your 2022 Sister Ann Joachim recipient, Amanda Marty Martino.
Thank you. It is an honor to have been selected as the recipient of the Sister Ann Joachim Award. Thank you and my sincere appreciation to Siena Heights University and the Alumni Association for this award and recognition. I am honored to be a part of the Siena Heights community. When I think about my time at Siena, I always first think about the people and how my coaches, teachers, and classmates created a place where I could grow and change and find my purpose. I would not be here without this community's faith in me. I did not plan on attending Siena Heights University, but Coach Scott Oliver is a persistent recruiter. He kept calling, and finally I came for a visit. Scooter knew that I loved to play soccer, but that I didn't yet have the confidence in myself to believe that I could play at the collegiate level. But he was confident in me, and over time, my confidence in myself grew. Playing soccer at Siena was more than just a sport. It was a catalyst for my growth as a leader. I learned how to lead with integrity through hard times, how to build trust by following through, showing up, and not giving up when things got hard. It ingrained in me work ethic and determination. And these skills have helped me work across political lines and bring together people of different backgrounds, perspectives, and cultures to find and achieve mutual goals. I also did not plan on a career in environmental law. I started out wanting to be a journalist, but I eventually pursued my interest in environmental causes and took a science class with Dr. Heather Moody. Her classes ignited my passion for the environment and built a foundation of knowledge on which my entire career has been created. Oddly enough, it was my Spanish studies that led me to where I am today. One day when I showed up to his classroom, Maestro Nick Kaplan asked me what I wanted to do when I graduated, and I had no idea. I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't know how. But he had talked with Dr. Moody and asked if I had ever thought about going into environmental law. He suggested that I could use my science background, my passion for people, and my Spanish language skills to advocate for communities most often impacted by environmental degradation. It was like a light went on, and immediately I knew that's what I was meant to do, and of course, that's what I would do. I'm so grateful to have had professors at this university who took the time to get to know me, to figure out what inspired me, to cultivate those interests, and who cared enough about me to guide me to where I was always meant to be. Because of the foundation, education, and personal investment I received from Siena Heights University, I have been able to work the last 6 years protecting fish and wildlife habitat, farms and ranches, and open spaces of Oregon and Washington, to elevate the voices of Indigenous peoples in our region, and to connect communities to nature and to each other. Receiving this award would not have been possible without the incredible people in my life. I would like to thank my parents, John and Kathy, and my siblings, Brooke, Nick, and Dominic, for supporting me and loving me unconditionally in everything that I have ever done. Thank you for humoring my passion projects and my very strong opinions. Thank you for helping me hone my debate skills over the kitchen table, and for always showing up for me. And thank you to my bonus family, the Lemanskis, for accepting me, loving me, and supporting me from the outset. I would like to thank Kendall Acho, Maria Butler, Harmony Jagger, Caitlin Hawarni, and Elia Castanis, who nominated me for this award. You are incredible women and beloved friends. I want to thank my partner, Joe Lemansky. We met here 11 years ago in Tom Bosmer's ecology class. And I am still terrible at tree and plant identification, but that is one of the many things you are good at, so I think we've got it covered. Thank you for always reminding me to balance hard work with fun and adventure, and for creating a life full of both. Thank you for your unending love and support and humor. I could not do this without you. Lastly, I want to thank the leadership, teachers, and staff at Siena Heights University. In land and water conservation, we often speak about the importance of thinking about how our decisions will impact future generations and the world that they will inherit. We ask if the choices we are making today and the actions we are taking are leaving the world a better place for its children, grandchildren, and the generations to follow. This university cultivates the passions and dreams of its students and instills in us the competence and purpose and ethics necessary to achieve them. Because of this, I have great faith and hope in the positive impacts that Siena Heights students will continue to have on the world and the changes they will make for future generations. Thank you for this honor.
Congratulations, Marty. Thank you, Kendall. Now I get to introduce another friend, Mary Jane Dopp, class of 1996, who is honoring Bob Metz, our honorary Alumni Award winner.
I get to talk about somebody who has loved this place for 41 years and embraced it. Not as an alum, just because Siena is Siena. Bob Metz is this year's honorary alumni awardee. For those who don't know who Bob is, he's the smiling, geeky force who led what began as Siena's data processing department with 2 people through 41 years of technology evolution. I can't say that without Bob, Siena wouldn't have electronic transcripts, online registrations or payments, wireless internet, or a myriad of other technological advances. But I'm not sure that these transitions would have been accomplished with such collegiality or dedication to the cause at hand, no matter the project. As we all know, Siena's size requires that offices interact constantly. In the decade that I was here as a student and staff, the university began the painstaking process of taking all of Siena's data operations to a campus-wide system relational database, a structure that required that office data can interact and connect. If you are young enough to think that that is how it's always been, look up the term flat file. That's where Siena was at. Bob started a campus user group so that we could build cohesiveness into the many tables and the structures throughout everything, through working with users with vastly different skills levels, through working with administrators that wanted their reports, not the system reports. Bob's patience and even temper kept us all on task. Even in challenging situations, he always had the best interest of Siena and its students in the forefront of his work. Kent, thank you and your family for sharing your treasure with our beloved Siena for so many years. And thank you for rescuing us one very cold night from the side of an Ohio highway. I believe that might have been the day the Isuzu died. The work Bob led was nothing short of transformational. I cannot think of anyone who deserves this award more. With that, I give you our 2022 honorary alumni in my best call card voice, Robert Charles Metz.
Well, Mary Jane, thank you for that kind of over-the-top introduction there, and thank you for keeping some of the other details kind of quiet too. There were some incidents that probably shouldn't be relayed. And you mentioned a number of different things that were transformational at the university, and I just want everyone to remember that those who were accomplished during my tenure were only accomplished as a result of collaborative team effort. My team consisted of many talented and dedicated individuals, members of the IT information technology group, non-IT staff, our student workers and employees, and our faculty. Also, I want to also recognize Sister Sharon Weber, who helped myself and many others learn for an idea to grow and be successful. It must be germinated and implemented with the input from many individuals that are within the community to whom it is supposed to serve. Sister Sharon was always there to remind us, to encourage us, to guide us, to include others in our decision-making. And hopefully I was able to do that in a reasonable manner. I know I didn't always do it because Sister Sharon and I had a couple conversations, but it was always a positive conversation in the end. And in terms of technology, I want us to understand that the real success of technology is not the technology itself, but how we, you and me, use the technological tool of the day to better the lives of others and ourselves. Technology can be a multi-edged sword used to make our lives better and safer. For example, to stay in touch 24/7, thanks to cell phones and now watches with those that we love and care about. Also, you can get text alerts about weather, video conferencing to stay in touch on vacation, and with our young adults who are away at college. To see and talk to grandchildren and friends that are in faraway places. To stay connected during a pandemic. Technology can also be used to cause us great frustration. Implementing new systems, receiving tons of email, unwelcome phone calls and texts, and those fuzzy video connections. And sometimes technology can even be used for more nefarious things, such as stealing passwords and to create fake and to create fake and doctored videos. It is up to each of us to determine how the technological tool will be used. That is why those individuals that receive their education at an institution like Siena Heights University give us great hope for the future that technology will be used in a responsible manner that will benefit not only Siena Heights, but those beyond. The mission of Siena Heights to ensure that students have the opportunity to be educated as competent, purposeful, and ethical through a teaching and learning environment which respects the dignity of all is a mission that ensures that our technological tools of today and tomorrow will be used in a manner that is beneficial to society. The key words for me in our fantastic mission statement was, is, and will continue to be ethical. It is very hard in today's world of instant gratification and the pursuit of wealth and power to be an ethical person and an ethical leader. There were many decisions made by myself and my team regarding how to be ethical in treating members of the Siena community. There are always those instances when there may be a perceived wrong or perceived illegal activity that requires one to decide, is it okay, just this one time, to review all the internal internet bandwidth browsing, the email, their text and video messages, and including those that they were thought to have been deleted because maybe they made a mistake. Rules on when to do so are helpful, but yet it is still a slippery slope. Let us be thankful that the faculty, staff, and administration keep the ethical part of our mission as a cornerstone of our students' educational experience. I will always be grateful to the individuals that make up the Siena Heights University community and the Adrian Dominican Sisters community for all that they have taught me, for the support that they gave to myself and my family, and for all that they teach our students during their educational journey here at Siena Heights. And most importantly, for actively putting those into practice, the words of our timeless mission. Thank you for this opportunity.
Congratulations, Bob. Thank you, Mary Jane. I would now like to introduce Sister Sharon Weber, who is honoring an inspirational figure, Samuel Katrine Ruiz from the class of 2013 for our recent Graduate Alumni Award winner.
Thank you. And I would like to thank you, Bob, for all that you taught me and for your patience with me for all that I didn't learn. So it is an honor to introduce Samuel Katrine Ruiz as the recent graduate awardee this day at Siena Heights. In preparing to do so, I've learned many things about Samuel. His mother noted that he brought real joy and love into the family, a family that taught him to be open to God's love and inspiration as he grew up in the Dominican Republic. His great aunts, Sister Teresita and Margot Ruiz, noted that he had an ability to build relationships across cultures and languages, and this was a very unique gift to our world. They also noted his ability to maintain loyalty to colleagues and friends across distance and years. So when Samuel came to Siena, when he entered Siena Heights in January of 2012, he had already set out on a path that would leave footprints around the world. He came from Canada with an advanced diploma in computer systems technology from Fanshawe College and 2 years of work as a computer technician. Whilst earning his bachelor's degree in MIS at Siena, he served as junior systems administrator. His major professor, Sam Abraham, characterized him as a student who achieved high results, demonstrated outstanding leadership capabilities, and maintained a sense of purpose in his research. Sam and Samuel have kept in touch over the years. Bob Metz and Brian Sunderman oversaw his work in the Information Technology Division. Bob noted that Samuel liked to learn new things and share that learning. Brian admired Samuel's ability to relate his work to the mission of Siena Heights. So these are some qualities, then skills, that Samuel took with him when he graduated in 2013. His love of learning added to his previous work, an MBA in finance from the University of Science and Technology of China in Hefei, China. A diploma for diplomats appointed abroad from the Foreign Ministry of the Dominican Republic, and a certificate in negotiation strategies from the University of Michigan. So he did keep learning. Recently, he completed Siena's class to prepare online teachers, so that may be another step in his future. The quality of his relational and organizational skills and his ability to understand, manage, and interpret data has been instrumental in moving his footsteps around the world. He worked for Leventus Technology in Chicago and Bangalore, India, and for GTI Security Consulting in the Dominican Republic. As the Dominican Republic, I'll call that DR for short, and China were just establishing diplomatic relations, Samuel joined DR's commercial office and then the embassy in Beijing, China. Besides developing comprehensive analyses, he managed cultural events and social media strategies. He also helped evacuate 5 citizens of the DR from Wuhan during the COVID-19 outbreak. In January of 2021, Samuel's work moved to the Embassy of the Dominican Republic in Washington, D.C. While his path has led him across the globe, when this citizen of the world and faithful alum was back in the United States, he returned to Siena Heights near his first available homecoming weekend last October. Samuel has taken the talents nurtured through his experience and education to become a competent, purposeful, and ethical citizen of the world, an alumnus of whom we can be very proud and who can serve our students as very well as a role model. And so I introduce to you Samuel Katrine Ruiz.
Wow. I'm very nervous, so please bear with me. Thank you, Sister Sharon. I cannot start, my words here without first saying praise to God who has led my path since I was born and continues to do so. Where to start? Sister Sharon shared, great things that have happened to me in the past, and somehow it's all connected to Siena. I can start with how I got my first job in Chicago. It was thanks to the fact that, Siena Heights University, Bob and of course Dave from the IT department, helped me to get a job here while I was a student. That opened doors for me to get my first job in IT. Then when I wanted to continue my studies in China, it was also Dan Morris. He was the director of international students at the time that connected me to the University of Science and Technology of China, where I got a scholarship. Again, thanks to Siena Heights. And I mean, every step of the way, I have to say Siena Heights University. The list goes on and on, but I'm the last one, so I don't want to, I know everybody's tired, so I won't be long. It's an honor to be back at my alma mater. Siena Heights, like I said, it's always in my heart. And I have to say thank you to my beautiful mother, who has always been with me. And of course, my wife, my daughter, who, I mean, my daughter was born 7 weeks ago and she's here. And I hope she can come to Siena a few years from now. And of course, my aunts, well, my father and mother-in-law who are also here with me, and my aunts who are Dominican sisters here, and they were the ones who started everything with opening the doors for me to get to know this beautiful place called Siena Heights, and opened the doors for me to get a scholarship, go to school here, and begin my journey. I do want to say something. It's Sister Sharon was always with me throughout my years here at Siena, and I always remember, I don't know if you remember this, but I was walking in the hallways one day, and almost at the end of my senior year, and Sister Sharon asked me, like, how was I doing, and how about my senior project? And I told her, oh, my senior project is this day. And of course I was trying to be politically correct, and I told her, you're more than welcome to come. But I knew she was very busy, so I thought maybe, of course, she's not going to come. She's vice president of the university. I don't think she's going to have time. But guess what? She said, of course, I will be there. And I was like, oh my God, I better do a good job, because now it's like so that inspired me to go above and beyond. And it was thanks to that support that I always received throughout my years here at Siena. And I do want to say that the mission of Siena, I do live it every day. I continue to try to be purposeful, ethical, especially in the work that I do right now, and find my, every year it evolves, but I continue to find my purpose in life, and always what helps me is coming back to the core, the teachings from Siena, that gives me the tools to continue growing and moving forward. So it's an honor. It's a great honor to receive this award. And I do want to say that before I'm done, I promise I'm done. I heard that there's a way to become an Adrian Dominican associate. So I don't know who's here. If anybody can help me find more information about that. Yes, okay. I will come and see you then. So thank you again. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Oh, I mean, there's so many people that I love in this room. I mean, Sarah, Dave, of course, Deb, and this guy right here. Before I moved to China, I saw a picture of this guy in Shanghai on Facebook. And I was like, oh my God, this guy went to China. He's crazy. Like, that place so far away. But it stayed in my mind. So I think that also, it was easier for me to make the decision of exploring the opportunity to do an MBA in China, thanks to that picture that I saw. Because I was like, somebody that I know went there and it was okay, so I can probably try it out. And yes, so Andy, I don't know if you knew that, but thank you, Sister Peg, and my fellow colleagues, classmates here at Siena. I have no words to say how grateful I am. Thank you.
Congratulations, Samuel. Thank you, Sister Sharon. And now from the, to wrap up from the alumni side to the student side, I'd like to invite our current student government president, Gianna Lark, class of 2023, to the stage.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julianne Lark. I'm currently a senior, and I'm our student government president. Thank you. I just want to start by saying I'm incredibly humbled and incredibly grateful to be here with all of you and these 5 incredible recipients who have shared their amazing stories with what they have done with their talents that they have fostered here at Siena and beyond. So as a current student who's on the brink of graduating and beginning my career and my whole life, it's easy to feel very confused about where I might end up. But really one of the overarching themes that I've heard today, and that's really been on my heart, is knowing that Siena really provides a family for us. And during this time, we have the opportunity to use the mentors and the student relationships that we build with the faculty and the staff alike, where we are able to really go out into the world and know what we want to do in those relationships. And even if we are confused as we're going into the world, we have those people to rely on to help guide us through our careers and through our lives. So I definitely am so grateful to hear these stories and especially learn more about that it's not just me and the students here who are thinking, wow, this is a family, but it's the family that goes beyond and for many, many years. And I'm so grateful to almost be a part of the alumni family. Not quite, I still have some time here, but yeah, I'm super grateful. I think it's really important for us students to hear these stories of graduates who have gone out before us, to hear that even if you graduated with 1 degree, you might end up doing something completely different. You may use some random class that you had way back in your freshman year of college, and just knowing that there are different things that our lives can take, and that it all comes back to trusting God's plan for us. And I think Siena is a place that helps us foster those ideas for God's plan and for our futures. So life is definitely full of twists and turns, but hearing these great stories from these people who have attended Siena before me helps me realize that God is in control. So thank you again for your inspiration and for all the alumni here who continue to lead lives of legacy using the mission of Siena and God's purpose. And I am so grateful to be here and to have heard all of this. So thank you for sharing your stories, and congratulations on all of your awards. And thank you to Siena Heights for having me here to provide some remarks at the end of all this. I'm incredibly grateful to be a student, so thank you.
Thank you, Juliana. Congratulations again to the award recipients. Sister Mary Jones is going to bless us with a benediction in just a second. My only remark is I've been able to see some of the expressions in the faces from your community and your base, and it's very, very clear that you're surrounded by people who love and support you, who allow you to do the fantastic things that you do. So congratulations from the Alumni Association for everything that you've done, and thank you so much. And now we'll have Sister Mary Jones. Thank you.
Wow, what an evening. And congratulations to all, so well deserved. I too take great inspiration from your stories. So let us pray. Loving God, this evening we came together to honor 5 individuals and to honor them for living our mission in incredible ways. Whether it was in education, teaching teachers how to strive for excellence in their fields, public service to community by offering leadership in ways that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, outstanding service to Siena Heights that allowed us to offer excellent educational opportunities during the pandemic, recognizing the importance of fighting for justice for our environment, and providing diplomatic service for those whose voices need to be heard. Lord, we thank you for each of these individuals for sharing their gifts to the world and representing Siena Heights in such noble ways. May we all embrace their example and strive to live our mission with passion and strength
and to honor you, God, with such dedication. We offer this prayer in the name of our brother Jesus and the God who loves us all. Amen.
Well, I guess I get the last word. As president, I couldn't be more proud today. And even when I look out at the audience and the wonderful lives that you all represent, I see a lot of you who mentored some of these, at least the younger alumni. I don't know about, before then, but I do know that you mentored some of these people on our stage today. And that makes me proud too. This is my last alumni awards ceremony. As you know, I'll be retiring in June, and after 17 years, which is a long haul for a president. Believe me, a long haul. Anyway, and I'm glad that the last time was with all of you, because you represent everything that is good about Siena. And it struck me too during the presentations how the Adrian Dominican sisters have influenced your lives in so many positive ways. And I would like the Adrian Dominicans and the associates just to stand. And there have been many more who aren't here today. Some who have gone before us, and some that will come after us, you know, and some who are here now. So, and yeah, there are some here now. But I think that the wonderful thing is that that I heard today is that the gifts that these wonderful people have been given from our God, and all the gifts that you've been given from our God, are not held to yourself. They're shared with others. And that makes all the difference in the world. To be competent, purposeful, and ethical in our world today is no easy task. And it gets harder every day. And to respect the dignity of all makes us reach down deep at times to that very core of ourselves that God created that is good. And so today is a day of pride. Today is a day of celebration. Today is a day where we honor our mission by living our lives every day with that mission. And so all of you who are here today, you're Siena Saints now. You've got to live that mission too, okay? So congratulations once again. Thank you for the lives that you live. Thank you for the way you have influenced these lives. And may we all have a positive effect in our world. God bless you all. And don't forget to come to some of the alumni events this weekend, some of the other ones. I'll see you there.